Yep, you see the name I gave this here video. That's right. And up here in Howard Lake, Minnesota, the temperature's 21 below zero right now outside. That's right. But that's not the name of the video, is it? No, it isn't. But I want to get this in real quick. You know what else the 21 below zero reminds me of? How bitter cold that is. It reminds me of today's people's morals and hearts. That's right. People's ability to care about what's right and wrong and how they do unto other people. Their hearts are about as bitter cold as what this temperature is. That's right. I know that may sound like a crude thing to say, but in reality, all you gotta do is pay attention to what's going on in society and how people are acting, especially on the internet. And you see the people's behaviors around you in society. And of course, it's never 100% across the board because it don't apply to every single person, man or woman. But in the overall, people's hearts are about as cold as this temperature right here. No lie. Just absolutely no care. No respect for other people. Doing on other people whatever you feel like you and don't want no accountability, no responsibility for their behaviors. And everybody's going to say there ain't nothing wrong with me and not even self-check themselves. Even if they clearly know they're in the wrong when they do something. They're still going to do it because everybody else is, because they think it's cool. That's because this is their heart. Their hearts, their ability to care about what's right and wrong is like 21 below zero. It sure is. Anyhow, with that being said, here's the topic, okay? The most important point against the censorship on the internet is that it is against the freedom of speech and the violates human rights, which it does. Okay? So, but I want to get into a little bit of talking about this, and then we look at here. What countries have the strictest internet censorship regulations? There you go. North Korea, China, Iran, Cuba. So, anyhow, I want to get into a little bit about censorship. The majority of people believe censorship is only what you're seeing right here. Okay? To suppress somebody's freedom of speech. Well, that is one way of, yes, I would agree with that. And violating human rights. I agree with this. But most people, especially up on YouTube, or around the internet, you get a strike if you're on YouTube against your channel and your video is removed. Or you hurt somebody else's feelers with truth. Or you hurt somebody, wounded them with truth. That's right. Because truth hurt them. You know, we see this going on all the time, don't we? And then people that clearly know they're in the wrong in positions in society, like the powers that be. Your handler, you know, your owner. Now, I said your owner, that's right. Because you all have owners, whether you believe it or not, you do. You're all slaves, whether you believe it or not. Okay, you may believe you're free, but you're free to be a slave, and you will always be a slave. Okay, until you educate yourself to the right stuff. And until you, well, work on self-improvement. And I'm not talking self-improvement as far as in the dating arena. I'm not talking self-improvement as far as your skills. I'm talking self-improvement about being willing to take responsibility for your own actions. Being willing to be honest with yourself. That's right. Being willing to recognize right from wrong. Being willing to practice doing unto one as you want done unto yourself. That's the type of self-improvement I'm talking about. Okay, I had to specify that out for you because a lot of you are going to get all confused when I say that if I don't. So I broke down what type I'm talking about. Okay, And harassment and censorship on the internet work hand in hand together. They sure do. And most of you won't think so. You will say, well, no, not harassment. That'll be most of you are going to say harassment don't go into censorship. Yes, harassment does. Okay, trolls, which your government will put trolls in place to harass somebody, to try to scare them off from talking about a certain topic. That's right. It's a form of harassment, but it's also censorship. Because it's to stifle you, it's to scare you, it's to shut you up. It's the same mentality with groupthink. When you don't think like somebody else, or the bullying in a school, when you don't talk or act like somebody else perceives you're supposed to. If you ain't thinking with your hive mind in the door, what happens? You get bullied, you get picked on. That's right. And what do we see going on around us? When we watch, because of social engineering, the majority of people are worried about fitting in. Oh, they're so worried about being called out by other people. They're so worried about being harassed. That's right, made fun of, called names. You know, and if you're speaking out about what's really going on in society, you might be called a nut job, a tinfoil wearing hat, a conspiracy theorist. And you wouldn't want to be called that, right? It's like you people putting labels on other people, calling them geeks and nerds. The same thing. You label them. You put them in categories that you want them to be in, to try to control their behavior, to get them to think like you want them to think, not allowing them to be their own individual human being, denying them their rights. You want them to not talk about something, and you want to shut them up because you don't want them to say something. So you want to stifle their free speech, but think somehow you still have your right to yours. This is just the beginning of this topic, okay? But let's get into the real meat and potatoes here, okay? You can be harassed and censored at the same time. See, harassment and bullying can happen in the form of censorship. Most people are so used to censorship on the internet as they took down my video. They gave me a strike. They removed my channel. This is the common thing you hear from the majority of all the so-called truthers, is I've been kicked off YouTube. I've had my videos taken down. I've had a strike and they removed my video. That's right. This is what you hear commonly on the internet. That's considered censorship. Oh, well, they did it because they're violating my freedom of speech. Well, yes, they did violate your freedom of speech when they did this. Yes, they did. But what if they don't remove your video? Okay, you got people up here that was doing live streams on YouTube, and they were in the middle of a live stream, and their live stream got shut off because they got censored. That's right. Or you got people like myself that was in the middle of a blog talk radio show, a live radio show, when they cut my feed off and replaced it with music. What would they do that for? So people don't hear what you're saying. To shut you up. A violation of your free speech. But what happens if they don't do that? What if they do like they did on Blog Talk Radio and they come into your live feed through the back door and they play ping pong in the middle of your radio show? You hear somebody playing ping pong in the background. You ask your guest. Everybody says no, but everybody hears it. And you go through and you mute each person. You remove them from your radio show, but you don't boot them out. Now there's only you, the host, left. And you still hear the ping pong. Then you bring them all back in. Then you talk about everybody hearing the ping pong in the background, and then the ping pong stops. Because you brought it up. Then a few minutes later, they're playing ping pong again. Or they're making other sounds to irritate you, That's a form of harassment. It's a form of censorship. It's to intimidate you. It's to bully you. It's to mock you for what you're talking about. That's what it is. It's to cause you to lose focus if you're trying to read something to people or tell them something, which is a form of censorship. Most of you don't stop to think about what it really is. Okay? And you won't put it hand in hand. You won't put 2 plus 2 together when it comes to this. Okay? I've had this happen to me many times over in doing my radio show. One time they cut my live feed and replaced it with music, so I was no longer live, but on my side you wouldn't know it because they said I was live. It took people getting a hold of me on the side and saying, hey, your show's gone. What do you mean? I'm live right now. No, you're not. It's music. And then you go through the back, you go open up another browser and go and don't log in and on a different browser and go to your show, listen to it, and that's exactly what it is, music. Because they've shut you up. That's right, they've censored you. Or as many times as I've had different sounds come into my show that was by no guest at all. So where did them sounds mysteriously come from? Out of the air? No. No. And then when you acknowledge what's going on and you say, hey, everybody, listen. Okay, Blog Talk's doing this. Wham, the sound goes away immediately. Now it's all quiet. Then a few minutes later, here we go again. Until you acknowledge them again. Then they'll shut up and stop doing it again. Then they'll wait a few minutes and they'll do it again. What's they doing that for? Because they're harassing you. That's right. They're trying to get you to change topics or get you to stop the show without blatantly just removing your show and replacing it with music. Because I had a bad habit of when they do stuff like this of making a video over on YouTube and exposing what took place on Blog Talk. They didn't like that. Okay, but anyhow. See, so harassment and censorship go hand in hand together. Okay, then there's the other night when I was live up here on YouTube. And that's the reason I did the video, my last video up. That's the reason I broke it down and showed you what took place. But you still got people out here that just it's above their IQ. Okay, they don't understand it. And of course the people who are SHIELDs are military intelligence that have been planted here for the reason of what they're doing, they're going to always deny it. Because what do we live in? We live in a world of deceit, lies, more deceit, more lies. That's right. That's what's become normal in today's society, right? There's lying and playing games. That's right. Playing mental games on people. And then you got no accountability. No, because on the internet you can do whatever you want with no accountability. And you can hide who you are. That's right. You can hide where you're from. You can hide who you are. You can be anybody you want to be. Why do you go out there and harass and bully other people? Isn't that right? Yes, that's correct. You all know that's correct. But the majority of you all think that no, censorship is when they took down your video, they give you a strike. That's the only thing that goes through your head. The harassment isn't censorship. That's what you're going to tell me. No, harassment is. I'll show you how that works. The other night's live stream. See, you're all going to say, well, that was just a glitch. But that was just a glitch. So you mean that glitch, after I shut the live stream down and exited everything off, closed all the browsers out, and rebooted the computer, and brought them all back up brand new, that glitch just happened to pick out only that interview that I did with Warren 3-4 weeks ago. Okay, and it would play it over the top of my live stream. Well, if it was a glitch causing it to play a video over my live stream off my channel, why would it only pick out that one? Okay, so then when you close out the browser again and you exit the show and you do everything all over and reboot again, the same thing. And even when you log out of YouTube completely and exit everything off and reboot your computer and come back again, it does it again. And you all go, oh, but it was just a glitch. So I suppose when I removed the very first live stream by going to my video manager, that's right, finding that live stream while it was still processing, even though it was only 2 minutes long, and deleting it, and getting the confirmation box telling me that I have to agree to delete it and that I cannot retrieve it, that it's gone forever, that I can never get it back if I do this. And I agree to that. And I select it and it disappears off my video manager. It's not there no more. I refresh the page. It's gone. It's not there. That's right. And then you come back up and you go live again and the same thing. It's just selected that video out all on its own. That's right. Okay. And then that video that you deleted, that you had confirmation it was gone forever, that you had agreed to, it just suddenly puts itself back on your channel after you already know it's gone. Oh, but that's just a glitch. No, you're idiots. That's not a glitch. 20 people keep saying, well, it's just a glitch. You're idiots. You don't understand how software works and what they're doing. If you understood how software works or there was a glitch in it, that glitch wouldn't keep repeating the exact same interview from 3 weeks ago. If it was a glitch grabbing a video off my channel because it was a software glitch, it's not going to keep going back to that same one. If it's a glitch, it'll grab something else. And how many other people have had a video while they're doing a live stream played over the top of them so that nobody could really hear what you're talking about. And it was how convenient it was that you went back 3 or 4 weeks ago and picked out just the interview with me and Warren. And you played that over the top of us. And you played that over the top of us. And how convenient it was for you to disable my comments from me being able to see them. But the public could see them. Oh, but that was just a glitch. You see how you're using the word glitch to cover up what's really taking place? It was deliberately done. What was really going on was harassment and censorship. Well, how is that harassment and censorship? Because what I was talking about in the live feed couldn't be heard or made out. All they could hear was me talking over me or Warren talking over me and me again. That's right. So what was the effect of that? It shut me up. You wasn't getting the message I was trying to give you. Censorship. Now do you follow where I'm going here? Harassment and censorship is the same thing as harassment and bullying. It's the same thing. Just in different texts. You didn't take their live stream down when you could have. You didn't strike their channel when you could have. Because you was having fun because it was a game. And you wanted to make everybody think, oh no, it was just a glitch and look how nuts he is. Why do you think I pointed at the one person and showed you the upside down 6999, flip that over and what do you got? 666. Showed you how he was in from the very beginning. From the very beginning. He was the first commenter. He followed all 3 of them. He's the one that kept pushing it's a glitch, it's a glitch, it's a glitch. He even called me a moron to try to convince everybody it was a glitch, it was a glitch. He wanted to convince you all that it was a glitch. And it worked for some of you because you fell for it. Do you follow what he done? See, this was military intelligence. They're working together. Why would they do that? Well, because if they can convince you and sell you a lie that it was a glitch, then they can make it look like I'm off my rocker, that I'm not telling the truth, that I'm just nuts. Isn't that what they want people to think of TFLers to begin with? Yes, of course. And when you're making a running record with Elliot Rogers and the Incel Man and the Run Me Over in Canada that never took place, Elliot Rogers, the known actor that you knew nothing about, actor, Hollywood, okay, gave you a TFL act. He came up and made a bunch of videos doing a script and pretending to be a lonely guy, a TFLer. And then they had him go on a killing spree. Just like the movie back in 2007, P2. P2. A TFLer. A guy who's been pushed out of life. Because he's been rejected his whole life. Over and over and over again. Who lost his mind and what? Abducted a female co-worker. That's right. And killed 2 employees. See, because he was nuts, because he was out of his mind. He was dangerous to society. Do you see what they're doing? Don't you understand? Just like with the red flag law for guns. They used FEMA exercise drills. They used drills, rehearsals. And lied to the world and said they really happened when they didn't. And used them as a running record to create a new law that don't apply to you because it's not a natural law. I don't care who you are. You have a right to possess firearms or weapons to protect yourself. No man can infringe on natural rights. But criminals, they love to infringe on your natural rights because they look at you as a slave. And these people that are military intelligence, see, they're just great little order followers who have been brainwashed, following their orders for the tool. And because everybody is so socially engineered to not caring about anybody but themselves, their hearts are like 21 below. Their hearts are like 21 below. Okay. They don't care neither. They're getting something out of it. They're getting to harass, laugh at what they're doing, and they played a role. Yeah. They came into my live feed. They picked out the video they wanted to use. 3-4 weeks old, an interview with me and Warren. And they stuck with that video. And they played that video and upped the volume on it over the top of my live feed, knowing you would not know where it come from. And then one of them very same people that was in on this, that was military intelligence or military media industrial complex, they came in and pretended to be on my side and tried to play the good guy. And they were telling me all the things I need to do to stop this from happening. And they were selling that on you. That's why they said all that stuff to me. Because they needed to sell the word glitch on you. They were a great salesman. They needed to sell that word glitch on you. And for some of you people, it worked. They sold it right on you. You believed it. When there was no truth to it at all. See, a glitch don't bring back a video that was confirmed and deleted. How many of you people have deleted a video from YouTube, confirmed it, checked the box, and agreed that you will never be able to retrieve it? It's gone forever. And then mysteriously had it show back up on your channel. Come on, don't tell me that's a glitch. Don't tell me everything that happened that night's all glitches. No, but see, the guy that was involved on it, he military intelligence, he came right on in there, and he made sure the name fits with the upside down 666. He was mocking you. He was all laughing at you, and he was selling his lie. And he was laughing. And he's probably sitting next to his partners who came in the back door YouTube with him. Because remember, YouTube is owned by Google, who is in bed with who? The CIA and the military. That's right. So they have access to the back door to YouTube. And these guys have been planted in the manosphere. Why would they plant people of military media, industrial complex military into the manosphere on YouTube? They gave you L.A. Rogers, didn't they? They gave you an incel guy over in Canada, a phony baloney stage show of people dying. They gave you P2 back in 2007 of a TFLer. Doing what? Abducting a woman for a date and killing 2 employees. Yeah. Of course they did. See, they're making their running history, like with the red flag laws. Then one day soon, there'll be a new bill that'll come out. A violation of your right to defend yourself, a violation of natural law. And they will use this to make another new red flag law, or to add on to the pre-existing law. Now, if you're a TFLer, if you're an incel, if you're a man going your own way, you're not allowed to bear arms. You're not allowed to defend yourself. But in reality, the problem that the manosphere faces was created by the people that these dum-dums that are doing this to you are working for. They're sort of like the Nazis, following Adolf Hitler's orders. That's what they are. They're the same. They're doing the same thing. They're following the orders of corruption. They're violating your rights as a human being. Yeah. And that's censorship, because could you hear the message I was talking about? No, you couldn't. Why? Because they didn't want you to get the message. And they were having fun doing it. Oh yeah, they were partying, man. They were laughing and giggling and everything. It was so much fun. Acting just like the Nazis. Bending over for Adolf. They had so much fun bending over for Adolf. And didn't even know they was. Because they're uneducated. They're just order followers. They're simps. They're dummies. And then of course one of these people, they continuously try to mock that, and and they're never going to run up to it. No. Once you've been caught lying and deceiving to the public, why would you trust that person again? We can talk about one of these guys that is most likely military intelligence, military media, industrial complex, that came up on scene and mimicked my channel to a T. Did the same thing I did, and I was the only one for years. And then suddenly removed all their videos. Then came back speaking against the very thing they preached. Yeah. That particular person, you all know who he is. Why would you even believe anything he says? Hasn't he already showed you he's a liar? If you're not smart enough to figure out that guy's not honest, there's no help for you. You have to first help yourself. But most of you don't want to do that, isn't that right? Because once again, what does that come back to? It comes back to what nobody wants to do. They don't want to take responsibility for their actions. They don't want to self-check themselves. They all want to think there ain't nothing wrong with them. But they all grew up in the same world we did, with the same social engineering, the same programming. But to recognize right from wrong, and to practice doing unto somebody else what you want done unto yourself, would take self-discipline. That's right. Bettering oneself, self-discipline. But none of you want anything to do with that, do you? No. Of course you don't. Because that sounds like you might have to back up and use a brain cell that's in your head. And you might have to be willing to recognize the right and wrong. And if you got an ego, oh my God, that means, no, You'd have to deflate your ego, or you'd have to lose your ego like Mark Passio told you to. Or like what I've been telling you, ego is like power and greed. It absolutely corrupts the human mind. It causes bad behavior. It'll cause you to lie because you're not going to wound your ego. No. And then you'll call yourself a truther and you'll come up lying with high ego while you're being a truther. And meanwhile, if somebody points out something that hurts your ego, you'll lie. And how did your ego get hurt? By truth. While you were flying under the name of a truther, you got wounded by truth. Because of your ego. Whose fault would that be? It would be theirs for not self-checking themselves, not realizing what their ego's doing. And we have thousands and thousands of egomaniacs all over the place. Everybody's going to say, well, I'm talking about Jerry. No, I don't have to be talking about Jerry. I've seen many YouTubers that are freaking in the truth community that have a high ego, and they're flying on their ego. I've seen it over and over. And every last time it corrupts them. Every last time. Then they become just like the people they're speaking against. And they're here for all the wrong reasons, but they refuse to acknowledge that. And if you ask them to self-check themselves, the first thing that's going to come out their mouth is they already know there's nothing wrong with them. While they're doing the very behaviors that the elite wanted them to. So they're being laughed at, they're being mocked, the elite sitting at the top just laughing at them. And now why do you suppose they would have come up and done something like that to me? Because they can't get through, I don't have ego. Well, everybody has ego. Well, if I have ego, it's invisible. And I hate to be that way. But the reality is, I don't run on ego. I've had a heart that's cared about everybody my whole life. And I care about wrong and right. And I care about doing unto somebody else as you want done unto yourself. I care about what's right. I don't come up and bullshit anybody. And I look into things, and I have common sense, and I have life experience. That's right. And I'm good at seeing through things and calling bullshit for bullshit just like it is. These people that I'm telling you about are never going to ever own up to it. Even when they know they are. But they're going to get mad at me for doing what I'm doing. But they don't have to strike my channel down. No. They could come up and do what they did the other day. Why do you think I left them 2 shows up that you can't make heads or tails out of? Why do you think I broke it down for you and put that up? And did you notice the view count on it? That's because it's being suppressed. Just like my channel's always been suppressed, and my last one was, and the one before that was. That's right. It's being suppressed down. It's censorship. Censorship that most majority of the people haven't experienced. I mean, we've all experienced getting strikes on our channels on YouTube that's been just speaking on the truth, except for the shills, of course, right? They fraudulently experience it because they want to fit in. So they'll make arrangements with the shill and take their channel down temporarily and then give it back to them. That's right. But see, for the real truthers or the people that are real, they've all experienced this. Got a strike on my channel. My video got removed. My live feed was cut off in the middle of it. That's right. Can't do live feeds for this long. Can't do this for that long. That's right. At one time, they locked you out of your channel. You couldn't even log into your channel for 3 months. Yeah. At one time, it was even 6 months. See, this is the reality is, I can remember when Dabu7 came up with a video. And he had an article brought up, and he says, the censorship's going to get worse. And he started reading the article of all the things that Google was going to be doing for censorship. And I started laughing. Why? Because W7 was pointing that there's coming out with this, it's going to get worse. And it's going to be a whole lot worse, and it's going to be blah, 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 and they're going to do these things to you. Okay? As if nobody's experienced these things until now. Wrong! I'd already been experiencing these things for several years. He was putting it out as this is just now taking place. Well, see, that's because they picked out certain people that were real, like myself. That wasn't fraudulent. That they understood already they could never, ever, ever buy me out. They understood that they wouldn't scare me off, that I'd keep coming back. They knew how real I was. So that censorship was already being done onto me. Had been being done onto me for a long time. I mean, a long time. And then here's W7 all these years later coming up with this brand new censorship that wasn't brand new at all. You know, I had people ask me, I had 2,500 subs. How can you have 2,500 subs and only have less than 100 views? I can remember a time before Google got their hands on YouTube, and I didn't even see it coming. When I first gave the name to TFL, within a year and a half of the time it come out before Google had it, it went viral. I didn't know that was going to happen. It went viral so big that every video I posted every day was getting 10,000 plus. No lie. 10,000 plus views per video every single day. Then the owners of YouTube was forced to court, forced to sell. And Google took over. Then the censorship started. That's right. I'm telling you, I've been around, I know. What happened the other day was harassment and censorship. It was to harass me and play mind games with me by sending one military intelligence into the conversation to act like he was on my side, to tell you it was all glitch, to sell the word glitch to you. That's what that was about. So that they could paint me out to look like what I'm not. Because you people haven't experienced this type of censorship. And so because you haven't experienced it, then you'll think I'm a nut. That's what they're counting on. That's what they want you to do. It's sad. But then that's because the majority of you people that are up here speaking out are here all for all the wrong reasons. You're not educated enough to be doing what you're doing. And if you're running on ego, you're already corrupt. Even if you don't want to believe you are. And the majority of people in our society are 21 below. Let's recess it. Yep, still 21 below. Their hearts are. Their ability to care about right and wrong. Their ability to want to take self-responsibility and be honest with themselves and look for causes. Cause and effect. Root cause. Cause and effect. And stop talking about symptoms. And to self-check yourself. Yeah. What I've said over and over and over and over. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this. That's the reason I've done this video. Because you need to understand this. Censorship is more than just a strike on your channel. The loss of a video. See, when they played the selective me and Warren live over the top of my live feed, they successfully censored me so that you wouldn't get my message. While they played mind games. That was also a form of harassment. It sure was. And why would they do that to me? Because I'm warning you in the manosphere that they're going to push mental health laws against you and take your right to defend yourself away from you. They're going to categorize you as having mental health issues. Maybe you might need to give the medical industry some more of your money to be brainwashed into using the brain in the jar, to use scare tactics on you. I'm warning you ahead of time, so when it happens, you can just all remember the stuff I told you. Because take it to the bank. It's going to happen. That's what this is all about. Why would they harass me and do that? Because I'm hovering over the top of their agenda. And they don't like the fact that I see through and know what they're up to. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. But yes, people, there's more than one type of censorship. You really need to back up and think.